Spooky season is here.
Readers,
reviewers,
countrymen,
lend us your ears.
That felt weird, the wrong way around.
And a huge thank you to all of our Patreons.
Thank you to the Pit Fighters, the First Swords, and all of the Bright Stars, Truth and Courage.
Hello and welcome today. I'm Will, this is my brother Ed, and we are talking about what we intend to read in the month of October. It is spooky season. Have we made our TBR based around that? I haven't really. I've got some that could qualify, but Ed, have you?
Oh, I think definitely both of us have some things that are definitely spooky in there.
You know, I'd say maybe, definitely, you're right. Let's get into it. What are we reading in the month of October, and what are you reading? Please let us know in the comments below.
It's time for James Logan's The Black Fire Blade. I believe this is going to be published in November. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So yes, I am showing off that I have this a little bit early. I've really loved the first book, The Silver Blood Promise. The central two characters, their relationship, their dynamic is just such gold to read, and I will read them doing anything. Lucan and Flea are a great duo, and I'm really excited to see how James Logan's going to continue the story where we left off Lucan and Flea, because there are more twists and turns than a twisty-turny thing in this series so far, and I'm loving it.
Very nice, Ed. And a lot of my reads are going to be determined by university, but to ensure some brilliance is thrown among there, I'll be rereading Enemy of God by Bernard Cornwell. And this reread started because I saw Tutor Ramble read The Winter King and do a chat on it, and I was just infected by their love, and I thought I need to reread this series that I so adore. In September I listened to the Winter King book 1 and loved it even more than the first time round, and so if this whole series follows that trajectory, I don't even know how blown my mind is going to be, because Enemy of God is one of my top 10 books of all time. It's my favourite book by Bernard Cornwell, who is one of my favourite authors. It is an Arthurian retelling at its very best, capturing the melancholic, nostalgic tone and entering into a grim, gritty, historical setting.
Very nice. Well, I have a recommendation from Papa Gwynne. He's been asking me to read this for many a year, so I'm going to just bite the bullet. And it is Winterbirth by Brian Ruckley, published around 2006. A fantasy that has really gone under the radar, according to also Papa Gwynne. This is the story of Thanes and elves. There is apparently some intense world building here, some fantastical elements that are incredibly immersive, as well as some really strong character writing as well. I'm looking forward to reading it. It's definitely geared toward the colder months, because obviously it's called Winterbirth.
So Ed, why aren't you reading it in winter?
Well, hopefully it snows in autumn.
Hopefully. Maybe. Next up for me is Among the Burning Flames by Samantha Shannon. I recently attended one of Samantha Shannon's tour events in Brighton with Papa Gwynne himself, and we absolutely loved listening to Samantha talking about her latest project and her work in general.
Now.
I know, I did listen to her talk. Samantha Shannon was brilliant, and I really loved the way she talked about literature, about the influence of books and her writing process. One little Easter egg that I loved is that when she decides her main POVs and she's got the kind of the core details, their age, what their profession is, and not much more beyond that, she will take them to tea. She will literally go to a coffee shop and interview them, pretending they're sat opposite her, and she'll have a list of questions and she'll pretend to interview them, write their answers down, and by the end she said her characters feel a lot more fleshed out and she feels like she's kind of got their voice, although to the detriment of the people next to her, as they think she's a little bit crazy.
I mean, if you saw Logan Ninefingers doing that, we'd all say he's mad.
Probably.
So,
but if it reaps great rewards, then why not? Among the Burning Flowers, fantastic cover. It's a shorter entry point into the Roots of Chaos, longer than a novella, but not as chunky as the Priory of the Orange Tree, which is about 1,000 pages long. So I'm really looking forward to picking this up.
Another chance to flex my arc securing muscles. This is The Strength of the Few.
And this is for both of us.
This is The Strength of the Few by James Arlington. I'm very excited to read it. Thank you to Saga Press for sending it to us. This is book 2 of the Hierarchy trilogy, obviously with The Will of the Many, named after Will, was one of the most intense rollercoaster fantasy journeys of all time. It was Red Rising sped up. And I'm wondering, is The Strength of the Few Golden Sun but sped up? We're going to find out very soon.
It's a shame it's not the Ed of the Few, but we will move on from that. Yes, as I said, this is also for me as part of my October TBR. I cannot wait to read The Strength of the Few. Part of the reason I left The Will of the Many so long is so that I could read The Strength of the Few in quick succession. I feel like I've really been mulling over the conclusion of The Will of the Many, and it's just everything a book one needs to be.
Absolutely.
And so there we go, Strength of the Few, a big gun for October. Next up is King Sorrow by Joe Hill. This is another chunker and another one that we're very, very lucky to have early access to. In October, he has got The Black Phone 2 coming out. And then on top of that, he's got his first novel release in 8 years, maybe 6, maybe 5. Anyway, quite a long period of time. And you can tell why, because this is a long book. But it sounds pretty awesome from what I've heard. It sounds like a mix of kind of like Arthur meets contemporary fantasy meets kind of heroicness with a dragon. What more do you need?
Yeah, I mean, if there's a dragon in, I'm hooked, and their title is enough to pull me in.
It doesn't inspire hope, really, does it? King...
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's not called Queen Hope, is it?
No, it's not. Maybe the sequel.
Something that I also think will have no hope is The Scour by Richard Swan. This is a collaboration with Grimdark Magazine, the great folks over there. Go check them out. They do wonderful reviews. And The Scour is a novella by Richard Swan set in the world of the Empire of the Wolf. We are reunited with Sir Conrad von Vort, one of the justices, one of, I believe, his companions or his friends, have been imprisoned for the murder of a young boy. And Conrad is on the case. Fear not, he will get to the bottom of the matter. Hopefully the bottom of the matter isn't in the bottom of a well, but we will find out. I'm sure there'll be some kind of staple necromancy / smooth prose / mind-boggling ideas / intense characterization. I'm looking forward to digging into The Scour. It's a lovely novella, great size, and I mean, if there's necromancy, it's definitely a horror read, isn't it?
You can always rely on Richard Swan. And talking of necromancy, next up I've got Empire of the Damned. I'm currently rereading Empire of the Vampire, and somehow I have never read Empire of the Damned, but book 3, Empire of the Dawn, is coming out in November, so I'll be reading one instalment a month. And this is a story of vampires, but the iconicness level turned up to 11. The character work also ramped up to levels rarely equalled by authors, and it is just all out an incredible book one, Empire of the Vampire. And I've heard Empire of the Damned is even better. Ed has read it, Papa Gwynne's read it, and they both said it is even better, which I think, how is that possible? But I do trust them. So I really cannot wait to pick up this book. And when you look at it and think that's a chunker, I wish there was more pages, because that's what I thought with book 1.
Yeah, absolutely. Dark Dawn by J. Christoph. We are obviously J. Christoph fanboys as well. We will be seeing him, meeting him, hanging out with him in November for his book tour. He'll be doing an event with Papa Gwynne with Waterstones in St. James's Church, but it is sold out, I'm afraid.
Are any of you coming? Did any of you secure a ticket?
Let us know in the comments below if we'll be meeting you there. It'd be wonderful. But Dark Dawn by J. Christoph is book 3 of the Nevernight trilogy, and I am actually really frightened to see where Mia finishes her journey. Now, J. Christoph, he gives me October vibes. I would definitely say he's writing the ideas, kind of the emo-ness. I love it. It definitely gives me October vibes, though. So I think it's appropriate. Even the style of artwork looks very October-ish, doesn't it? I'm very, very excited to get to this, though. I've wanted to get to it for a long time now. God's Grave I read in the summer, and that's one of my favourite books of the year. A perfect book 2. If you want to study how to write book 2, go read God's Grave. But yeah, Dark Dawn, great title as well. But there's a glimmer of hope there. Dawn.
Ooh.
Nevernight, not very hopeful. God's Grave, a bit sinister. Dark Dawn.
Empire of the Dawn.
I know, he loves the dawn. So
I just feel like it's not going to end well.
yeah, but both book 3s will. Hopefully there's some joy. We'll find out, though.
Does it mean it's a new era of no one has survived who you like?
Yeah, probably.
Maybe. Next up for me is the last one I'm talking about in this video, and that is Defiant, which is book 3 of the Songs of Chaos series by Michael Miller. This is classic meets modern fantasy in the best way possible. Book 1 really just hooked me. It made me feel very nostalgic, as I said. Had a lot of those kind of typical tropes, you know, the boy who yearns for a greater destiny, who's stuck in kind of a boring job, this time as a cook boy, and then it grows from there and it becomes very unique. It subverts a lot of your expectations and it is very nuanced, and the characters are just stand out.
Yeah.
Book 2, Unbound, widens the scope to multi-POV, which the book One Ascendant has a little bit, but far more in Unbound, and it really is just epic to a whole new level and shows really what the series is aiming for. And I expect to see the same trajectory with book 3, which is Defiant. And what a cover, by the way. That is atmosphere in an image. And so I really cannot wait. Michael Miller has a way to write with purpose, with drive, that also allows for the slower emotional beats. It's confident storytelling. And book 4, Reckoning, recently released. So I'm really looking forward to picking Defiant up. And then, of course, Reckoning.
The Reckoning.
The Reckoning, yeah.
Very nice. And unfortunately, Will has a stutter for the rest of the video. Thank you so much for watching our October plans. Let us know in the comments below what you will be reading, what you'll be watching for spooky season as well. Do you think these books are spooky enough? I should have probably read Buffalo Hunter Hunter in October, but I just couldn't contain myself. If I get time, I might read a horror read, might pick up something completely random, but I don't want to promise it because we've got some chonkers here. In the meantime, stay safe.
Truth and courage.
Truth and courage.
The Brothers Gwynne.
The Brothers Gwynne.